James, I know everybody assumes that you probably won't be here next year, but everybody also assumed you'd be traded. In your mind, have you had talks with the Flyers? Like, is there any chance that you'll be back here next year, or have they said that they're not interested? Or
Yeah, we haven't really had talks about that. I'm obviously like probably everyone else looking at the situation. I'm assuming there's a direction they're going to go as far as being a younger team and still a team that's kind of transitioning to be as young as they can. So yeah, that's just kind of the way I'm assuming that that things will go. I haven't had like official things one way or the other, but yeah, that's just assuming that's what's going to happen.
if that does happen, what is your favorite memory from here? I know, tough question to just throw at you.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of great memories. I think definitely some early ones. I remember, like you could look at the cup run. That was a pretty special time. We were so close. And then just especially early on, I think just a lot of how I was treated by some of the older players was pretty cool. I remember just being here for some of the summers, training before the year, and especially right before my rookie year, where guys like I remember Jeff Carter would take me out for dinner all the time and to baseball games and stuff like that. And then like guys like Prongs and Danny B were really great with me, and Scotty Hartnell. The list goes on and on. So obviously on the ice, that cup run that we had was great, but off the ice, a lot of great memories, especially early on. And then again, there's been, I feel like, lots of great groups of guys that I've been able to play with over my time here. So those definitely stand out just because when you're younger and you're kind of impressionable, I think it really sets the stage for you for the rest of your career when you're around good people and good players. And yeah, so I think that looking back, I think that definitely helps set me up on a stage to know what it takes to try to be a productive, successful player.
James, after the came back from the injury in December, towards puts you in the line with Tippett and with Frosty for it's about 5 weeks in there, and both of those guys credited your communication with them and your influence on them as one of the reasons why they took off this season. Where did you see Owen and Morgan grow this season?
Yeah, I think for both those guys, like obviously they've got the pedigree there. I mean, they're both first-round picks, huge talents. I think they really got a chance as far as opportunity-wise to play a little bit more and have that opportunity to get a little more leash, I guess, where you get thrown back out there a little bit more. And I think they just took it and ran with it. I mean, they were fun. We had a lot of success playing together, I think, as a line, especially during that stretch that you mentioned. But yeah, it was fun to play with those guys and to see kind of the growth in their game and things like that. So yeah, definitely going to be fun to watch those guys going forward to see what they can do.
James, after the trade deadline, we talked to Torts a few times, and he said he felt bad that you didn't get a chance to go to another team and chase down a cup. I guess looking back, what were your emotions after the deadline? Were you disappointed that you weren't able to be moved?
You know what? Yeah, like I'm obviously extremely proud to be a Flyer, play for the Flyers for as many games as I have, as many years as I have. That being said, yeah, that was probably one of the more disappointing things that I've gone through, just for a whole host of different reasons. But yeah, definitely disappointed, I guess, that I wasn't able to get that opportunity.
I guess kind of as a follow-up to that, after the deadline, Chuck was pretty open about the process and what had happened. I guess did that hurt? Kind of him being as open about being able to trade you.
As far sorry, so what's
just in terms of saying that teams didn't have interest and things like that. Usually GMs aren't that open.
Oh, I don't know if I want to dive too much into the weeds on some of those things. I mean, I know there's lots of different ways, I guess, to look at the situation. I don't think it's necessarily as cut and dry as it was made out to be after the fact. So yeah, I don't want to. I'd rather not get too far down that road.
James, the other day you said you feel like you have quite a few more goals left in you. You're a guy that's always prepared off the ice, on the ice. Do you have an expectation for how many more years you want to play? And and the fit for where you want to go next?
Yeah, I think ultimately for that question, I think I still love the grind of preparing myself and trying to get better and working at your craft and working at your game, and it's fun to come to the rink and things like that. So I think, again, as long as it's still fun, as long as I can still think I can serve a role and find a good fit on a team, like I want to obviously play as long as I can. So kind of just take it. This is obviously a next stage now for me, going into the summer, going into free agency. So for that, yeah, you have a little bit of that excitement to see what's potentially out there and how that can all work out. So like you mentioned, yeah, I put a lot of time and thought and effort into preparing myself the best way I can, and I think this is the time when you do that over the course of a bunch of years. I think this is the time where it starts to pay off. I think I still feel pretty good on the ice and physically and things like that, and obviously you have the experience and the reps of playing for a long time, so I think that part of your game becomes even more efficient as far as how you play the game and knowing the right places to be and things like that, so you don't have to be skating around like a dog off the leash. But yeah, so yeah, definitely excited for what's next.
You talked the other day about how much it meant to you to get that career goal, in this organization. You've been around a long time, but just this season alone, how much did it mean to you, just along with the goal and just kind of being a mentor to some of those young players, maybe knowing that this was going to be it for you in Philadelphia?
Yeah, I think certainly it was a transitionary year for the organization, but yeah, to be a part of that, and obviously you want to prepare yourself the best way that you can and approach it like you do. Again, I think you have to have that no matter what the situation is, what things are going on around you. I think you have to have that approach to try to play along. So yeah, I think. I don't know if I answered your question or not, but no, yeah, to play here for as many years as I have, for as many games as I have, definitely take a lot of pride in that, and it's yeah, I always look back on that fondly.
James, when you came back here in 2018, team's coming off a 98-point season. There's a lot of hope at that point of taking those next steps. And when you look at your second tenure here, obviously there was the COVID thing, there was the bubble, all those strange experiences, but also a lot of exciting times in your own personal life too. Do you look at these as they've been positive years for you on the whole?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, coming back here, like you said, I had a lot of pride of being a Flyer the first time, and I think part of the reason why I came back here was ultimately having not a bitter taste, but wanting to really, I was drafted here, wanted to try to be part of a solution going forward to win and things like that. So I came here with the best of intentions and approached it the best way I could as far as trying to be the best player I could on it to help a team win games. And like you mentioned, it was, looking back, lots of different things happened between, if you look at COVID, coaching changes, GM changes, different guys, kind of pillars that have been here coming and going. I added a couple kids to my family, things like that. So definitely a lot to unpack there. But everything happens for a reason, and yeah, just try to enjoy each part and keep things in perspective, whether good or bad. And I think it just kind of helps you try to have that sort of appreciation for things, especially when things aren't going as well. It definitely makes you appreciate things when they are going a little bit better. So yeah, ultimately I think everything's sort of a learning experience and a chance to grow and things like that. So I think that's kind of the way I try to look at it when things maybe go a little sideways sometimes.
4 or 5 days ago, you dropped the gloves and stood up for Scott Laughton. How much did playing with Scott Laughton mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a lifelong friend and one of my closest friends. I still remember before free agency, actually, I was up, didn't know him at all then, but I was up there with Connor Brown and a few of their other buddies playing on a softball team with them right before free agency starts, and we were just chatting with them a little bit, just about what it's like with the Flyers and things like that. At that point since I had left, but yeah, definitely I've gotten really close to them, and it's been a lot of fun playing with him. And like I said, we'll have a lifelong friendship, and had a lot of good times over these last 5 years.